Krootman here, and I've got 10 170HXs here, and some pretty sweet cables from deep in the mines. They sent me out one of their cable kits to try, and I was just opening up the package, which was packed well, and looking at them, and doing a test fitting, because these are designed for the PCSP OCTOMINERs, and I wasn't sure if I could get them to fit in one of these newer X12 Ultras, but I put one of my 170HXs in, and it looks like I can make it fit. So in this video, we are going to put 10 of these into this OCTOMINER X12, and then I'm going to talk about these deep in the mine cables. And thank you again to them for sending these, and we're going to get more to this after a quick word from today's video sponsor. This video is brought to you by Crypto Miner Bros, your one-stop shop for all of your ASIC mining needs. Whether you are looking for 1 to 2 small ASICs to heat your home, or to fill up an entire industrial container full of ASICs, Crypto Miner Bros has you covered. Their prices are all in, shipped to your door, so there will be no hidden or unexpected fees, and they have all major manufacturers and all major kind of miners. If you are looking for something new, I would personally recommend picking up SCRYPT MINERS now before the new year and before prices go up, because frankly, prices are only going to be going up right now and they won't be going down. So don't miss out. Get everything before it's super expensive. And remember, use code Krootman with 2 zeros, KR00TMAN, for $70 off your next order. And thank you very much to Crypto Miner Bros for sponsoring this video. So these cables, they come in a 12-pack. And they're pre-sized, which is good, because the last thing you want to do is what I do and have to replace these cables with longer cables when you want to go down to the gauges, when you want to go down to 16 AWG, which is quite annoying. Now, these cables are pretty sweet. If you can tell, they look like they're well built. I don't know if you can see there. They're 16 AWG, and these are 6-pin EPS. And the great thing is there are no adapters, and these are pretty high quality. You just add failure points in is the word I'm looking for. And you don't really want to push these, because if these aren't 16 AWG, and even though these wires are 16 AWG, they still have to go through, say, 18 AWG, which is what a lot of these are. And that means that you really can't push them hard on like an algorithm like Kapow, where this one is straight 16 AWG all the way to the GPU, so you can push these cables pretty hard. So honestly, I think I kind of want to try to figure out a way to work out a deal with this guy, fully transparent, where I could put these in all of my 170HX and 100-210 builds, because then this would allow me to kind of go ham on like Kapow algorithm, or maybe even like a ProgPow if I really wanted to. Now that I talked about these a little bit, I want to show you, oops, I dropped one on the floor. I want to show you what it's like to build with them. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strip out these cables in here, and then we're going to replace them with these deep in the mine cables after I install the GPUs. Alright, so we've got the 10 in, and now we're going to put the deep in the mines cables in. Like I said, I was originally worried that the longest one would not fit over here, but let me show you that it does in just a second. Check it out, nice and clean, and it just fits, not barely, like it's obviously clear that they measured it correctly. So now we're going to go ahead and put the rest of them in. So after a little bit of opening up these two GPUs and fixing the loose power connectors, there was no damage or anything. They were good. Everything's in. Look at how clean this looks, guys. These deep in the mine cables are amazing. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like spending money on extra parts that don't pay you. But to get rid of these adapters, and frankly, to really get the most out of these cards, you want to swap to 16 AWG anyway. This allows you to do it. And $100, honestly, is very reasonable when you consider that these are custom-made 16 AWG cables, and I don't know how to make them, so you got to pay the premium. I mean, just look at, these are the last two that I have to put in when I get 2 more 170HXs coming in about a week or so. Just look at the quality, and then like just compare it to the adapters. You know, the less connection points you have means the less points of failure. There are no extra connections in here. So yeah, honestly, these cables, these deep in the mine cables, are a Kroot buy. I highly recommend them. Now, these were sent to me for review, as I've already stated, but I'm going to have to figure out a way to acquire these, because I honestly think that I want a set for all of my 170HXs, and I want a set for all my 100 210s, especially the 100 210s, because they're kapow monsters, and you can actually run 200 watts, basically 180 to 200 watts, through 16 AWG cables without any problems, because these are EPS cables. So let's go ahead and just test this here. The thing I do love about my test area is it has just enough room for this OCTOMINER X12 Ultra, the 5-fan one, to leave it here. And we're going to go ahead and power this up and just make sure everything mines without any problems. So it wouldn't be a mining build if something didn't go wrong, right? Only 8 GPUs showed up. We played the game Feel for the Hot one and number 8, and the last one were cold. So we're going to reseat them, and that should probably fix it. I was happy that the 2 that I opened up had no problems and were mining just fine. And obviously when you unplug the power plugs, make sure that the power is actually fully drained, obviously. So we're going to reseat these now. Alright, just got the bar in. One final look at the case. 10 170HXs. I'll be adding 2 more shortly to finish up this build. I've got the spare cables right here. And just look at how much cleaner this is than basically any other build I've ever done before. These Deep in the Mines cables are a 100% Kroot buy, and I would highly, highly recommend them. I really don't think I would build another case without these cables, as they're cleaner and they're safe, and they will allow you to push the 170HX to its full potential if you ever decide you want to mine kapow, and less connections is better. So quickly before I go, I just want to show you all 10 operational. This was just the first test run, and I'll dial in the OCs a little more in the future. I just wanted to make sure that everything worked just fine. They've been running for, I want to say, maybe 45 minutes at this point, and you can see how they're doing. I have the auto fan set at 65. I'm going to drop it down to 60 so we can keep these temperatures just a little cooler, but you can see what the fans are running at, so I've got plenty of room to keep all of these GPUs cool. As far as the overclocks, for Zealous, for the 170HXs, I would probably start with a core of 270 and then your core offset somewhere between 1225 and 1300, just depending on what your GPUs can do. Most of mine seem to prefer 1225, and also you want to make sure you have the 92.00.60.00.0a BIOS, as that is the super BIOS and what makes the 8 gig models better to buy over the 10 gig. And I will have a link down below to my seller that I use. And remember, always pay via Alibaba to protect yourself, and tell her that Krootman sent you, as it just helps me out and helps my channel out and allows me to make more great content like this. So that's it for this one. Thanks to Deep in the Mines for sending me a set of these. And they will work great with either the newer OCTOMINER X12 Ultra or the PCSP OCTOMINER, which I will have links to that if you're interested in buying that as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. Thanks to Crypto Miner Bros for sponsoring. My #1 recommended source to buy ASICs, especially in the US. And that's it for this one. I'll have more videos coming up soon. See you on the next one, guys. Peace out.